We should.
Go.
Okay. We may have some technical difficulties. Does it say record on the screen? Okay. Hi, everybody. Whoever's watching this is going to be someone through Facebook that watches this. Because, well, only one person came tonight to my class, so that's okay. Go ahead and scan around just so that people feel like they're part of the show. It's not really a show. It's just a little quick class. I brought my own food so that I can do some canning tonight. Down here I have my food saver. You probably can't see it. And so these are some jars that I already had, I put food inside, and I haven't sealed them yet. So I still have to do that. And now we're going to start. We're just going to talk about oxygen absorbers. They're those little packets. I'm not going to take one out of here, but I'll come a little closer. Everybody pretty much knows what these are. Can you see a good shot of that? They're just small little pouches that you put down inside with dry foods. So if you have dry soup mix in a jar, you're going to put one of those oxygen absorbers at the top, turn on the lid, or turn the lid, and then what it will do is actually remove all of the oxygen from the jar so that the food can stay dry, be protected for many years, and certain bacteria and everything can't grow in here because there's no oxygen. So it will preserve your food. The other way to use your oxygen absorbers is in a Mylar bag. They come in this size. They're lined with a type of plastic so that you can apply heat and it will just melt it a little bit so that it will actually seal that for you. You put food inside here, rice or beans or soup mix or bread mix or whatever, and you take one of those oxygen absorbers, stick it in there, and seal it up, and then all the air will come out. So then basically what happens is it shrinks down. You can see how this one is kind of tight. I have another example right here that's even better. This one is really fun because you can see all the texture of the food. Okay, this one has some sort of honey oat cereal in it, and it's really bumpy, you can see. And I call this shrink wrapped. When you use an oxygen absorber that is effective, that is not expired, that's not damaged or anything, it will shrink wrap your Mylar bags. So you should look for that to see if they're working. If at any time I was to go through my food storage and check it periodically, rotate it and everything, and I would notice that this bag was no longer shrunk down tight to the food anymore, maybe I could even squeeze it and there would be pockets of air. It might feel more like a beef. Okay, let me see with my notes here what else I have. I'm kind of just rambling and I'm covering a lot, so that's fun. That's more fun than staring at this. Okay. I'll just explain another reason why I figured the number 5 for exposing your oxygen absorbers only up to 5 times. And it's just simple math. You may have picked up on that, but you get a package of 100 from the church. It says to take out 20 at a time. Well, by the time you do that 5 times, you've gone through the whole entire bag. Does that make sense? And then I've tested that. Like I say, I made probably 50 Mylar bags with meals for a friend. And I used oxygen absorbers that were brand new. I put them in the jars and I did this exact same method, and by the time I got through enough of these that they had been exposed the 5 times, they really were starting to be less effective. So the last couple bags that I filled were not as tightly shrink wrapped as the first that I did. So it was obvious. And so I've tested that one. Okay, before I go any farther, I'm going to double check if this thing's working. Does it still say record? Okay. This is a really old camera, so I'm really glad it's still working and then I didn't forget to charge it. Okay. We covered almost everything. The other thing that I want to mention is that because your Mylar bags will shrink wrap like this, you want to make sure that as soon as you're done sealing them, that you kind of shake them a little, press it down, you know, tap them down on the table or something like that and get it level, because otherwise it will hold the shape of whatever, you know, if the food's all piled up, you'll have a bag that has a big lump in it on one side, and maybe you'll have, you know, it'll be uneven like this. And so when you go to store it on your shelf or in a box, it'll be really hard to fit inside your box. So level it really nice and then label it. Almost done here, let's see. Okay, I'm going to bother to say just one more thing. I was doing a whole bunch of research on the oxygen absorbers, and you know what? Yeah. Anyway, I was talking to someone that seemed to know her stuff, but evidently didn't know her stuff. I don't want to explain it. What she told me is like this. The oxygen absorbers are not meant to actually create a seal on the jars. They're just meant to take the oxygen out. It's okay, just focus on me. My husband just showed up. And I thought to myself, well, but then why is it that every time I put an oxygen absorber inside the jar, does the little button pop right down? I hear it go ting! And oh my gosh, that thing's nice and tight. When I take the screw off and I try to open it, I have to get a tool and pry that thing open. That thing's stuck tight. Just as tight as it would be if I used my food saver machine. So I think that's one of the myths about these oxygen absorbers. They do shrink wrap your Mylar bags. They do seal your your mason jars. And if you're using them effectively, you will have a lot of success, and there's nothing to worry about with these things. They're very inexpensive, and they can be very useful, especially if you don't want to pay for a machine. My food saver machine I got for like 70 bucks at Walmart or something, but I also found another one that I was lucky to find at a thrift store that I managed to make it work. I even made a hand one with a brake bleeder pump. That's easy, and it was like 20 bucks. So there are other ways to do it, but I just wanted everyone to know this way because so many people have questions and are really afraid about using them, whether or not they're going to work. So give it a try and ask me any of your questions and let me know how it goes for you. And feel free to enjoy using the oxygen absorbers because they really do work and they will help preserve the life of your food. Thank you, everyone. Bye.